All right, y'all. How y'all doing, man? I was working on a drum kit. So I'm listening to my vinyl records and I heard this sample that caught my ear. And there's a technique that I use a lot of times that I thought I would share and talk about a little bit. And maybe if you're new to making boom bap or lo-fi or whatever, or any type of sample-based music, and maybe if you're not new, maybe you just need a refresher or a reminder. um I was like, let me talk about this, and I'm starting a new channel. So if you catch this on your algorithm, please like and subscribe if you can. I will be talking about my samplers, I will be talking about hip hop, I will talk about music in general, digital audio, just all things music and audio. That's just what I love. So this technique is called the low end theory, and at least I believe it's called that. That's the way it was taught to me. I don't know if it's actually called that in the industry. You may be thinking about the 90s album Low End Theory, which uses this technique a lot. So, anyways, to continue, I heard this sample from Main Ingredient, right? So here it is. It's called I Want to Make You Glad, and it's on their album Rolling Down a Mountainside. So if you get a chance to listen to Main Ingredient, excellent group, check it out. So I have the sample, and I did chop it up and arrange it already. So this is the sample, as I've created it. So. So it's a pretty simple loop. I think I made about three or four chops and did a little bit of rearranging. So the low end theory, to talk about this, is what I want to do now. If you listen to it, this is the sample without really anything. I mean, I've chopped it up, but there's nothing done processing wise to it. So what I'm trying to do is isolate the bass from this sample so that I can control the bass and do things with the bass that I wouldn't be able to do without affecting the rest of the sample unless they were separated. So what I've done is I separated the tracks. I'm working with Reason. And you should be able to do this in any DAW. And I've separated the tracks. And so now this is the bass version of that. And I keep this version in mono. I keep the non-bass version in stereo, and I keep the bass version in mono. So here it is. This is the bass version. Make sure. Okay. So I have the original version here. So what I did was everything, I used a filter, a low pass filter. High pass filter, low pass filter. God damn, my brain. I used a low pass filter, and every frequency from 30 and below, 300 and below, I've cut off. So this, you're only getting 300 and below through this. And that, I use that to create the bass version of the same loop, but in mono. So the mono version, the bass, is 300 below in mono, right? Now in the bass version, you can really only hear the bass elements. You hear a little bit of the snare, you definitely hear the kick, and you hear the bass, right? I think it's a bass guitar. And so now this gives me the ability to treat this bass version independently of the rest of the sample. See? Bass. See, I can, now that it's separated, I can do so much. It gives me so much flexibility and more variance, which is one of the most important things. I'll talk about variance in another video, but that's one of the most important things when you're making beats is you want to be able to create variance, and even if it's subtle, so that you don't really, maybe you don't notice it so much, but it's noticeable. And it's not literally just the same loop. Sometimes that works. But most of the time, you don't want just the same loop with no absolute change whatsoever to play over and over. With this now, I have the bass and I can treat it independently. I can duck it with the kick now without ducking the sample. I'm just ducking the bass. And ducking is, if you don't know what ducking is, it's basically you want to make one element of the track get quieter when another element triggers it to get quieter. Usually what you do is you have a kick, and I don't want to get into sidechain because that's a whole nother topic. But usually what you do is you have a kick or a snare, and every time this kick or this snare hits, the bass or whatever thing you want to duck gets lower. But now that I have this bass separated, I can do that. I can also add saturation to the bass without affecting the rest of the sample. This is the bass with saturation. So yeah, I don't want to get too long-winded, but basically, low end theory, you're separating the bass and the mid and high elements from each other so that you can interact with each element individually. And it gives you the ability to add variance. You can cut the bass out. You can do, I will do more work on the bass really because I really want a lot of the sub area, but not so much of that low mid area where the kick would be. I don't really want that much of that. And so now I can take that out without affecting the other parts of the sample. And then also another thing that's very convenient is that I know for a fact that the bass now is completely in sync with the other sample instead of making a bass line and having to kind of guess, which I know how to do, but I don't have to do now with this. And then also it's in pitch. It's in the same pitch, the exact same pitch as the sample. And the notes are going to be right because it's coming directly from the sample. So again, to recap, low end theory, you're separating the mid and highs from the lows so that you can interact with each element individually. If this video helped you or opened your mind a little bit, like and subscribe if you can. I would appreciate it. And I will have more videos just talking more about artists, about styles, about techniques, about history. I love music, I love sound, I love everything audio. So that's what this channel will be about. And you know,